Welcome in, welcome. How is everybody doing? How are you doing, Paul? How are you doing? It feels like you're the only one in chat at the moment, which is fair enough. I know it's a bit of a random time for a live stream. I'm normally very much later on, but just decided to hop on right now and have a bit of a chat about obviously the situation with Derby County, the performance yesterday. Obviously, the news in regards to Tommy Watson, which some of you may or may not have seen. Let's not talk about Derby, says Adam. We will see, Adam. We will see. It's gonna be an interesting one. How are you doing, Scorpion Bro? How are you doing? Obviously, a lot going off for Derby County. We're a bit shit. I think yesterday was a little bit better than you. I think yesterday was a little bit better though, Adam. Can't take nothing from yesterday. Southampton were poor. I thought we were better yesterday. I'm not saying Southampton were very good, but I think we were definitely better than we have been. Let's put it that way. Definitely better than we have been, which I think isn't really a shock or anything that's too difficult, really, because we have been pretty shit. Now, the positive that we do have right now, which isn't in a Derby County sense, is that Forest are losing and there's about 15 minutes to go for them. How are you doing, Stephen, bro? How are you doing? It's not going to be a long one from me today, but just thought I'd hop on for a quick hour or so. For me now, he needs to win at least 3 in November. Any less, it's goodbye, Eustace. You know something? I'm not going to turn around and say you're wrong, Adam. Not going to say that at all, because I do think that there's pressure on the shoulders of John Eustace right now. And I know many people disagree. I know many people may agree. I know it's very a 50-50 split within the fan base at the moment in regards to Eustace and the time that he's given and things like that. But it's something which I wanted to discuss. John Eustace has never achieved anything. There's a reason why he always walks. It's time to stop protecting him. Do you know something, Adam? I don't necessarily think you're wrong. The big thing for me, though, is we have had a tough start. A lot of the teams we've played are sort of like those upper echelon teams in the division at the moment. The big one now is our next game is against Oxford, who are below us. If we don't win that game and dominate, I think there'll be serious questions to be asked. Paul Warren's first season, we jumped at him. Why is it different for Eustace? I think it's different for Eustace because of what we showed last year in regards to those sort of performances. Because if you look at how bad we were under Paul Warren, and then all of a sudden Eustace comes in after 3 or 4 games, we then go on a run where we're top 6 form. So I think that sort of gives Eustace the shout, if that makes sense. We were lucky to survive. We were very, very lucky to survive. I'm not gonna deny that at all. We were very lucky to survive last year. Who are we trying to sign? We'll get into that in just a moment. Just waiting for some people. To jump in chat. Make sure we've got the fair few in. Head loss video was class, highlight of the season. Absolutely, that's what we're here for. That is what we're here for. The head loss, the brains going absolutely bang. What's up about this transfer thing? Just letting some people get in chat, and then we will talk about Tom Watson and what is being rumoured/reported. Thoughts on the performance yesterday? I don't think it was awful. I thought it was probably our best performance of the season. But ultimately, is that to do with Southampton being poor? Is it to do with us finding a rhythm? I'm not entirely sure. Ozo is a different gravy. Yeah, Ozo was unbelievable in my opinion. I thought it was okay at best. I thought it was our best performance of the season. Realistically. Hi Lewis, did I tell you that I saw you at the game? I'm pretty sure you've commented it on the video. I need to go through my comments and stuff like that. I think Ozo and Ibra instead of Travis. I don't know. Murphy, Derby get battered everywhere we go. What's the transfer thing? We're going to get into that in just a second. Thought we were alright against States. I did. Tom Watson, yes. From, I think he's at Brighton. Was at Sunderland last year. Do you think he'll join? What position does he play? So, right, let's get into talking about Tom Watson then, because that is sort of the latest sort of jump that has been chucked at Derby County over the course of the last few days. And realistically, I'm not surprised at the link. Let me be completely honest. I'm not surprised at the link to Tom Watson, because I think wingers is exactly what we need. And he can play on the left, he can play on the right. I believe he can also play through the middle. But obviously, it's a conversation that is going to be had. It really is. And it's a conversation that needs to be had as well. What about Koza Dewberry to Sheffield United? Would be an interesting one. Derby going up, says Nathan. Let's hope. Get him on loan in Jan. They just pick. Yes, that would be the move I'd anticipate. A loan move. I'm buzzing. I've got tickets for Oxford away. Enjoy it, Monty. Enjoy it, bro. It's only a couple of weeks away now. Are all our players back after the international break? Apart from Liam Thompson. I think Liam Thompson will be out for a bit longer. We ain't spending much in Jan. No, I think it'll be a loan move. I miss F.A. Ambrose. Do you think he is good? Yes, he was one of the key parts of Sunderland's team last season, and they obviously got promoted through the playoffs. He was a very, very good performer for them, in my opinion. Loan players, like you say, yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Sanderson was out of position so many times yesterday. Yes, he was. But I think he's carrying an injury. So how old is he? He's 9. I think he's just turned 19. Sanderson will be all right. He's just adjusting. I agree. When's Owen Beck back after the international break? I got tickets to Derby versus QPR. What's going on with Watson? So Derby County are rumoured to be targeting him, along with the likes of Hull City, Preston North End. And I think there's a couple of other clubs interested, but not in the same capacity. Sanderson had been our best player recently. I won't take any slander on his name. I think he's been okay. He's not the best player in the world, but he's doing okay. I think as soon as Langas is fit, he'll be straight in the squad. Owen Beck, yes, he'll be back after the international break. He's adjusting. That's the best he's getting. We will see on Sanderson. We'll see. Thoughts on Ajimang so far? We need proper crosses of the ball, because he's always there. He's always in the box. Always. I think Ozo should be starting. I've been saying that for weeks. Because I think Ozo has been absolutely phenomenal whenever he's played. I think yesterday, I got some clips of the game. I don't know how many of you watch my matchday vlogs and stuff, but every time Ozo got the ball, it looked like something was going to happen. And I think he's brilliant. People believe they understand the overall quality in a player by seeing certain minutes. It's hilarious. We will see. Loved Ozo since the Borough game last year. I've liked Ozo ever since he started to hit form last season, and then obviously started picking up those injuries, which was an issue for Derby, but I think he's great. He's class Ozo, I agree. Who is the main club that looks the most like getting him? The three that seem to be the front runners are us, Preston and Hull City. But obviously, anybody can jump in. It is only October. 1-0 with a Jackson goal. If Jackson can find a way to hit the target, go for it. Ozo was quality yesterday. Actually looks like going forward. I agree. Preston don't need another midfielder, really. I agree. I don't really think Preston need a midfielder, but he can play either wing as well. So the defending for the goal was embarrassing. The defending for the goal was right in front of me. I've got it on an entire clip, right? I did not expect Ozo to lose the ball where he lost the ball, so I just got it where it bobbles off all the players and then goes into the back of the net. It was ridiculous. I wish we got Thierry Small. He is a good player. We'll see how it goes this season for him at Preston. Do you know when CBT is coming back? He will be back after the international break. Thoughts on Clark on the wing? I think Clark should be playing centrally behind the striker. But I also think that in order to do that, you've either got to play a back three or drop Morris or Ajimang, and I can't see Eustace doing that. Afternoon, Paul. How are you doing, bro? How are you doing? Paul, did I just say I can't see Paul Warren doing that? I meant I can't see John Eustace doing that. I can't see Eustace dropping Morris or Ajimang at the moment. Who's that? Who's who, Kian? Are you on about the player? Morris has been our best player. I agree. You can't drop Morris or Aji. I don't disagree. I genuinely don't disagree. The player on screen is Tom Watson, Kian. It's Tom Watson. Is back training? Yes, he has been for the last couple of weeks. Eustace needs to drop Travis. I don't agree. I don't agree. But I think he's a card away from a suspension, so will probably happen anyway. I have really enjoyed watching Carlton Morris. I think Adjimang is a real threat as well. I think we're not going to drop either of them. Let's be honest. So it's either a back three or Clark stays on the right. Need Adams as captain again. I think, in my opinion, I don't agree with that. At least Forest are losing. Absolutely, Tom. At least Forest are losing. What is the score? Is it still 1-0? Is it still 1-0? Yes, it is. It's still 1-0. Everton have equalised against Palace. What other scores are on the doors? Aston Villa winning 2-1. Forest are winning. Forest are losing 2-0. Forest are losing 2-0 now. Wolves Brighton's 1-1. Fucking smashing. That's what we like to see. We like to see Forest dropping a stinker. We love it. We love it. We absolutely love it. It does probably mean that Ange Postecoglou is going to get sacked, but they've lost the last 3 or 4 games, which is always quite interesting. I always enjoy watching Forest lose, as I think we all do. I don't understand the style of football we are playing at the minute. Do you know something, Joe? Neither do I. I have no idea what we're playing. Forest won't go down. They have too good a team, unfortunately. We will have to wait and see. Where are they in the league at the moment? Let me go and take a look at where they are in the league at the moment. At the moment, they are on 5 points after 7 games. So there's always a possibility they could go down. It's not impossible. It is not impossible that Forest go down. Anybody that thinks it is, they've missed a lot. They've missed a lot, because it could happen. It could happen. You look at how close United and Tottenham were last year to being in that relegation zone. Yes, I know the gap in the end was 20 points or something. Was it 20 points, something like that? The gap was 13 points. But you imagine, Forest aren't a Tottenham. Forest aren't a Man United. So you have to be very careful in the way you're looking at it, in my opinion. Fozzie was probably our best defender yesterday, and that's concerning. I don't think that's concerning. I think that's standard Craig Forsyth, to be honest. Stands up, does his job. If you look, Southampton could have been 3 up. Yeah, I don't agree. When are you going to start talking about him? Hudson, we've been talking. Ask questions, I'll answer them. If you want to know more on Tom Watson, let me know what you want to know, and I'll let you know what you need to know. Matt Clark was, even though he did mess up a few times. The thing is, with Derby and with the performances we've been putting in, is that we are an okay team. I think once you get Rhian Brewster fit and firing, once you get Adjimang fully up to speed, once you get that whole sort of run going, I think we're going to be formidable, personally. Thought Travis was dreadful yesterday, the amount of challenge he missed or avoided. Yeah, but he did have a yellow card. He did have a yellow card. When you're looking at players that jerk out of tackles and things like that, you've got to look at the circumstances. Travis got a yellow card. How early into the game was it that Travis got his yellow? I'm pretty sure it was quite early, and that then means that you have to then move away from challenges and stuff like that. Unfortunately, that is part and parcel. I don't really like it, but that is part of the thing. Afternoon, Mark. How are you doing, bro? Let me go and find out. When did Travis got his booking on the 32nd minute? So from 32 onwards, he's got to be careful with the challenges he puts in and things like that. Jaden says the ref was appalling. I don't disagree. You playing FC 26 later? No, not today, Alfie. Not today. We're just chatting shit today about Derby and football and shit like that. So we'll be back probably tomorrow with FC 26. We need to be getting goals to get the points we need, so we don't end up in a relegation scrap again. I agree. We're very close to realistically pulling ourselves out of it. Southampton was always going to be a tough game. I think everybody knows that. And I went into the game. Those of you who watched the live before the game and things like that will know that all I wanted out of the game was a good performance. And I think we got that personally. But as Joe says, we haven't won in 8 games. That is where my issues start to arise. We last won at Pride Park, Joe, against Preston. Thought Ozo was a different gravy, got to start. I agree. And I've been saying that for ages. Ozo should always be our starter. There should be no conversation around it. Ozo should be our starter. It should be Ozo and someone. Ozo and someone. That's what it should be for me. When was the Preston game? First week of April? Second week of April, I think. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow, Sam. But I do get the impression that you're maybe a bot. So we are just going to ignore you. I'm not going to lie. Welcome back, Monty Bro. Welcome back. I do think you are a bot. So we will give you your space. Appreciate the follow over on TikTok. I can't see your name on my chat list. I can't lie. He needs to start getting booked so early then, in my opinion. Could have been the ref's fault, but he becomes useless because his whole game is tackling. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same with what's it called? It's the same with Ebo Adams though. Their whole game is tackling. That means sometimes they're going to pick up cards. Unfortunately. Oh, it's me, gang. Perfect. Hope you're okay, bro. Hope you are okay. I still can't actually see your name. I'm not gonna lie. Knights.x. Thanks for the follow, bro. Thanks for the follow. Gotta love the Ozo layout. Yeah, David Ozo is an unbelievable football player. Anybody who doesn't rate David Ozo genuinely needs to like open their eyes. So what is the whole update with Tommy Watson then? So Derby County have been credited with interest for the Brighton winger, midfielder, whatever you want to class him as. And I think it's probably a move that Derby County will probably be looking into. He's a very, very good... He's very, very good at Championship level. I think he played 20-odd games for Sunderland last year. Was a huge part of their playoff push and a huge part of them getting promoted. And I think if we bring in a player like Tommy Watson, it puts you in an unbelievable position. But it does also mean that because of our registration numbers, someone has to go. But who is it going to be? Who knows? Ebo and Ozo's perfect IMO, not seen much from Travis. I think Travis is layers and layers above Ebo Adams. Challenge on Brewster towards the end was a joke, I agree. Need Langas back ASAP. He'll be back. Don't you worry too much. He will be back. He'll be back after the international break. The beautiful blue shirt arrived today. Fits perfectly. No diet required. Love that, bro. Love that. Glad to hear that you've got your prize all sorted. CBT and Brewster to start after the international break. Yes, probably. He's from my little village. Good to see someone's doing well. Who is that, Connor? Is that Tommy Watson or... I don't, not quite sure who you're on about, I'm not going to lie. I miss Tomo, that's who we need. Yeah, Tom Watson, I thought so. News on Beck, back after the international break. My 11, I can only see like 4 players. Zetterstrom, Johnston, Langas, Clark, Elder, Ozo, Travis. I assume the rest speaks for itself. Brewster, Clark, Blackett, Taylor. Actually, do you know something actually? I think there's a world where Corey Blackett-Taylor doesn't start. Sorry, only did half. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. Get the rest in and we'll go for it. Appreciate the follow, Ash. Liam Thompson needs to return. He's a few weeks away. I don't think he'll be back after the international break. CBT has to start. Swansea closing in on Dele Alli. Surely you're pulling my leg here. Surely you're pulling my leg. Let me go and have a look. Let me search Dele Alli. Dele Alli. Let's have a look. He actually has a good cross. That is true. I can't find anything on Dele Alli. Can't find anything on Ali. Can't find a single thing on him going to... anybody. to be honest. How much would Tommy be if we wanted to buy him? We won't. We won't buy him. We won't be able to buy him. He's linked with Swansea and Wrexham. Fair. I got his shirt signed. Such a flex. Love Thompson so much. Love it. How much would Tommy be if we won't buy him? I got mine signed by Mendes. Up the Mendes Lang. Go on, my boy. We need to sign Ozo up. It could potentially happen in the summer. Ajman will be a beast IMO. I don't disagree, Monty. I think he's been very, very good so far. But the big question on Ajman is he just needs to sort out that trampoline. He's got an absolute trampoline of a first touch. If he sorts that out, he's going to be outrageous. Referees are ruining the game. They just aren't giving fouls anymore. You can push players over, pull shirts. It's absolute rubbish. I don't disagree. And have we all noticed how goalkeepers aren't being timed anymore? Has anybody noticed that? Goalkeepers aren't rushing anymore. It lasted, what, 3 or 4 games? Clark was absolutely knackered. Clark was absolutely knackered in that second half. Think he's all right technically, but I think he has the same issue as Kenzo. Clark and Kenzo don't have any issues, right? The problem is the way we use them, the way we utilise them. If you put them in a position where they're going to be in lots of physical battles, you're not getting the best out of them. But if you're putting them in positions to get them on the ball and create chances, they're going to thrive. Kenzo never struggled in terms of physical battles and tackling or anything like that. Anybody who says that needs to go and look at the numbers. His numbers were identical to that of Liam Thompson, who was seen as some saviour towards the back end of the season. He wasn't far off the numbers that the likes of Harrison Armstrong was putting in and things like that as well. So who reported the Tommy news? So something first came out from Sky, and then Football League World were sort of on the back of that. But I think it would be a great move. Who's that fella? He is Tommy Watson, currently at Brighton and Hove Albion. But I think he's only played 2 or 3 games this season. Zetterstrom was being timed yesterday. I was at the game. I didn't notice it. It's not as noticeable as it was earlier on in the season, let's put it that way. I was also at the game yesterday. If you check my channel, there's a match day vlog. But I couldn't really notice the timings. Like Zetterstrom at the start of the season was sort of rushing getting the ball out because of the timing. He's not anymore, and neither was the other keeper. So blame Bell Morris for us getting shit refs. There's only so much you can blame Morris for. He's not been a part of the club for the last 4 years. Like, you can't blame Mel Morris for any of that jazz. Not for me, anyway. Obviously, everyone is entitled to their own opinions, though. That is okay. I'm not gonna argue with anybody about that. You can be welcome to that opinion. What did you think of Johnston yesterday? I think it was his best game in the Derby shirt. I thought Johnston was quite good yesterday. But in terms of, I still think there's levels for Johnston. He hasn't played in European competitions because he's an average footballer. Like, there's levels to go through. I actually think it's a positive that he's not been called up for Scotland. I know some people will have their own opinions on that, but for me, I think him not getting called up for Scotland is exactly what Derby County need. The ref lifted his arm and countered. Fair enough, I didn't notice it, Simon. I didn't notice it. Can't see anything about this Watson. Give me 1 second. I will find it, screenshot it, and put it on the screen for you. Give me 1 second. Tom Watson, Derby. Boom. Here we go. Just give me... is this confirmed? Well, obviously, no deal is confirmed as of right now. But, in a sense, our interest has kind of been confirmed. Watson has 2 Carabao Cup goals and 3 assists in the Cup as well. Yes, he does. He's been very good when he's played, which is one of the reasons for me why I'd be absolutely delighted to get this deal done. Is Joe still in the live? I'm not sure. Give me 1 second. Let me just change this to screenshots. Boom. There we go. There we go. There it is for you, bro. There it is, Monty. It is on screen for you now. It is on screen for you now. Is it a loan offer? I'd imagine so. I'd imagine it'll be a loan. I do. I imagine it would be a loan. I thought Johnston was good attacking but bad defensive. I don't think he was bad on either end, to be honest, Monty. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought he had a fairly decent game in terms of on and off the ball. Don't get me wrong, I think in certain situations he can still do better, but I think you could say that for a lot of people. Grealish has scored in the 93rd minute. Matt Clark had a good game. I agree. His first corner was appalling, though. His corners seem to improve through the game. Yeah, corners are definitely something that Derby as an entire unit need to improve on, because we've been diabolical from set pieces, which is not something you'd say about a Derby County team 12 months ago for me. If we do look at Johnston defensively, 4 clearances, 2 recoveries, won 50% of his duels, but he only had 2 duels to make, which I think speaks more to what Southampton were doing than anything else. Watson can dribble well, pick out passes and score precision goals rather than powerful goals. Well, he'd be absolutely perfect for us. I personally do believe. I think he's a very, very good footballer. And obviously he's still quite young as well. So it will probably be a loan. But if we can get him in the door, I can't see any reason why we wouldn't. What's the transfer chat about? Let me put this thing up on screen so that when people jump in the chat, they know what we are discussing. Just give me 1 second. Over on TikTok. This is what we are discussing. We are discussing Tommy Watson's link to join Derby County. It could happen, it might not, who knows. We're in a position where you never really know what's going to happen. By 2030 he'll be at Chelsea if he does really well. I don't know how much I'd want to be at Chelsea, let's put it that way. Have you seen how many players they've got on the books? Chelsea is definitely one of them clubs where you probably want to stay away from. Do you know who's favourite to get him so far? So it wouldn't surprise me if every team in the Championship's in for it. In terms of favourites, I'd imagine it's us, Hull and Preston, as we are the named group, if that makes sense. And that is sort of what makes that discussion even possible in the first place, because if we weren't in that named group, then we wouldn't be interested. But I think that I do think that it would be a move Derby County will look at, because you look at a player like Tommy Watson and it really does open the door for either wing, if I'm completely honest. It's disappointing that with an academy as good as ours, we aren't bringing players through like we have done. I think we're being overly cautious with some of the academy players, if I'm being completely honest. I think that if you go back 4 or 5 years, Cruz Allen, Noah McAndrew, Lennon Wilden, Dejon Brown, Jake Rooney, they'd all be part of the squad. They'd all be getting game time. Whereas now, we're not really being forceful in that sort of academy position, which I get, I understand, but it's obviously not really what you want to have to deal with. You want to sort of you want to bring your own players through, but I think we're being careful and cautious, making sure that they make the step up at the right time, not forcing anybody in too soon. Like, I think realistically at Derby, the next ones to break through will be your Ibukas, it'll be your Isaac Gordons, it'll be Cruz Allen, it'll be Noah McAndrew, it'll be those sort of players. But ultimately, they are still very young. Like, I think Cruz Allen's 17. Ibuka's not long turned 17 himself. Now McAndrew, I think, 17. So we will see. Won't go Hull, can't pay out. Well, that all depends on what the club look at. Would this be for end of the year transfer? Yes, this would be for the January window, Rowan. The January window. And I think it would be a great move for any club in the Championship, to be fair. Is Watson good? Yes. He was a huge part of Sunderland's playoff push last year, and obviously Sunderland then ended up going up. Brighton paid about £10 million from, I think it was in January. It might have been in the summer. which is obviously a huge move for them. Your Sunderland boy, love that Mackham Moments. How do you think he'd fit in at Derby County, Mackham Moments? How do you think he'd fit in? If it's because we have no squad, I get it, but it would not only be nice to see an academy player get some game time, but it's also been a cash cow for us. I agree. And that's sort of the problem with our academy at the minute at Derby is we're spending, a good 4, 5, maybe £6 million a year on it. And if we don't start getting money out of it, we're a bit screwed, really. So we will see what happens with that. Don't think he should go to Derby. Think he would suit Preston. Don't Preston play a back three, so he'd essentially play wing back? I could be wrong, but I'm sure Preston play a back three. So he'd have to play wing back. I don't think he'd suit Preston personally. If he can cross into McBurney, I'll take him. I'm sure he can put a decent cross in. I'm sure he can. There's plenty of players at Derby to put a cross in. Not in my hands, though. Yeah, I get you. He wouldn't get into our starting 11. He probably would, Thierry. I'm not going to lie. He probably starts for maybe 20 out of the 24 teams in this division. He's a very good player, is Tommy Watson. There's a reason why he was such a big part of Sunderland's squad and a reason why Brighton paid the fee they did. And it's not because he can't play for Preston. Let me tell you that for certain. I 100% think he could start at Preston. I think he could start at most teams in the league quite easily, to be fair, without a shadow of a doubt. Anyone who's better than Jackson, I do not disagree. And do you know something, Caden? This could be potentially Jackson moving on. Because you look at our wingers, you've got Blackett, Taylor, Brewster, Clark, Vyman, Jackson. If we take away Jackson and put in Watson, your registration isn't an issue then. So we let Wilson go, young attacking player. Is he better? Hope he likes long ball. Well, Kane Wilson, if you're on about Kane Wilson wanted to leave. He doesn't get in over Thierry Small at wing back. You don't play wide forwards, do you? You don't play a front three, you play a front two, don't you, at Preston? So he'd have to play centrally. Has Armstrong started for you yet? Because Armstrong was a baller for us. He just doesn't seem to get in for you. Let me go and take a look at your lineup. Yeah, you play a front two. Yeah, he's so good. Yeah, Armstrong's ridiculous. I love Armstrong. Fucking Dobbin getting another assist. Jebison scoring goals. Fucking hell. Preston, what are you cooking? Preston might actually be cooking a little bit. But we'll see if that carries on. We will. But yeah, to be fair, he doesn't get into a back five. But could he play as one of your midfield three? Does he get in over Armstrong? Probably not. Whiteman, not the same sort of player. McCann, you could maybe argue. He gets in over McCann. But then, do you really want to bring in a lone player to drop one of your own, if that makes sense? So it's an interesting call. It is. Wherever he ends up, it is a very, very interesting call. That is something that I do have to say. Because there's a lot of different points that you can say about someone like Tommy Watson going into a team. But I do think if you played a formation that is a defensive midfielder and is probably our best player, McCann is a good player. But what do you with your 3-5-2? Do you play two sitters then? Do you play two sitters? Because Derby did that and we looked absolutely arsewipe. I'm assuming, my assumption when looking at your team is that Whiteman and McCann sit, Armstrong sits just ahead with Dobbin and Jebison ahead of that. That would be my assumption looking at your setup. Obviously, I could be wrong, and we usually play 3-4-2-1. Oh, so he could play in one of those two behind. Who is your two behind Jebison? Who's your two behind Jebison? Is it Dobbin and... I'm guessing Dobbin and Armstrong. Surely. That would be my assumption anyway. That would be my guess. Dobbs, Armstrong, Dobbin and Devine. Fair enough, fair enough. Fair enough. So he could probably get in there, but I don't know if he'd get in. I don't know if he wouldn't. I don't think he'd get in behind that though. Okay, being biased, I like Kane Wilson on the ball. He was exciting. Nobody knew what he was going to do, including him on occasion. I agree. But I think that's why everybody liked Wilson, because of that unknown factor about him, and I think that's what Derby County are missing right now. It's that question of the unknown. Derby played 10-10 yesterday. Not sure if it was 10-10, but it was certainly better than it has been. With the way Dobbin has been playing, he doesn't play ahead of him. He's nowhere near Devine. We will see if you end up picking him up, but it'll always be an interesting call. I'm Derby and Sunderland fan. If Tommy joins, we will win the league. We need to start winning some games first. We love these streams. Love that, Monty. Love that. I hope everyone in the stream is having a good afternoon. We're not going to be live for much longer. I'm not going to lie. I'm absolutely knackered. I've got no idea why. So we're not streaming for too long today. But I just thought I'd hop on, have a bit of a chat. We will if Tommy joins. Fair enough. It would certainly help boost our creativity. I'll tell you that for free. Because he is a decent player. He is a decent player. He's got a lot of talent amongst him. But the big question would be, where would he play for us? Would he play in one of the wide positions? Would he play in one of the central positions? These are all things that really open up these conversations for me. But we will have to wait and see. We will. Let's go and look at his stats in the Championship last year. So if we do look at his stats in the Championship last year, created 1.3 chances a game, 80% pass accuracy, 0.15 expected assists per game, 6.3 touches in the box. See you later, Monty bro. See you later. Was I happy about yesterday's performance? Yes, I was. I don't know if you were, but I was. Ashton says you can't be both. He can do whatever he wants, to be fair. Anybody can do what they want. He wouldn't come to us as he wouldn't get much game time as he would at Derby. To be fair, we've got a decent chunk of play. It depends where he plays for us. Because if you look, not a chance of him joining you lot, we will see, Fred. We will see. A lot of people said that about Brewster. A lot of people said it about Ajiwang when Ipswich wanted him, and Ipswich offered similar money to us as well, and they chose us. So I think that speaks volumes of where Derby County are as a club. At last, positive thoughts. I'm quite a positive person, Craig. I just say what I see, and if what I see isn't positive, then I'll say it. He'll come QPR, maybe Josh. How you doing, Derby Edits, bro? Appreciate the follow, Thierry Time. How you doing, Derby Edits? How are you doing? We're just cooking up a little transfer stream. I'm going Derby away, 25th. Good luck, mate. Good luck. Enjoy it. We're going to smash you. I hope, anyway. Anyway, thank you for the 3 points the other week. Hey, we'll get you back at your place. Don't you worry. Don't speak volumes. Just got the poorest squad, so he'll get the most time, probably. So doesn't that mean that he probably will come to us and there is a chance? So when I say it speaks volumes, it speaks volumes. You just don't realise the volumes it speaks. When a player picks to join a club because he's going to get more game time, that means there's a chance of a club with a lesser squad getting that player. It's the same when we bought in other players. Like Brereton Diaz came to us for game time. Ryan Brewster came to us for game time to revitalise his career. It's not because we're the best team in the league. It's not because we're going to be the best team in the league. But it's because if they want to prove themselves and they want to be that sort of player, they've got to play. So how can you say that shows where Derby are as a club? It's not that you're bigger. But I never said it had anything to do with being bigger, Fred. That isn't what I said. As a club, we are growing and trying to improve. And unfortunately, that means that those high-quality loan players will get that will get more opportunity with us than they will with a QPR, with a Coventry, if that makes sense. And it's not like there's a relationship between Watson and QPR. So it's one of those things. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. Welcome in, Michael. How you doing, bro? Monty has decided he's staying. Fair enough. Millwall's on fire. Now our injured players are back. QPR getting it next. Let's go, Kev. Let's go. Fair enough, mate. Exactly. The thing is, Fred, right, it's not that Derby County are ever going to be the best team in this division this year. That's not going to happen. But it opens the door. There's not a relationship between you and him either. Exactly. Which means we're all on a level playing field. Which then means playing time comes into the conversation. If that makes sense. This is the latest news on Watson. Yes. Yeah. A fair few clubs are interested in him. Derby County, one of the ones leading the way. But obviously, anything can happen. It is still October. So as much as this is a great discussion to have now, Derby County could get 3 midfield injuries next week during the international break. And then boom, you've got to go and look at other options, if that makes sense. Praying Hull get him. I think it'd be a good signing for any team in the division. Obviously, you'll probably notice I'm a Derby fan, so you go North End if you're him. Why though? Where does he fit at North End, Dylan? Where does he fit at North End? I've just had this conversation with another North End fan. I don't think he fits. You don't play him left wing back over Thierry Small. Do you play him in behind your 9? Do you think he gets in over Dobbin? Do you think he gets in over Devine? Maybe Armstrong? Do you think he gets in there? That's the question. Small plays right wing back. Well, Watson can play either side, Dylan. Watson can play either side and behind the striker and as a central midfielder. So, who do you drop in your team to put Watson in and to guarantee him game time? Because he's not a holding midfielder. He's not your typical box to box. He's that sort of advanced guy, and that's why he's played a lot in the wide positions. It'd be an amazing signing for any champ club. His potential's off the charts. I agree, Ben. I agree. Thanks for the follow, Carter. I hope you're okay, bro. I bet your name's not even Carter. I bet your name's Lee. And you've just put it the wrong way around for your username. I guarantee it. Anyone can beat anyone in the championship. I agree. Osmajic will be banned soon. FA want him gone, so Dobbin would fill that striker role. Maybe. But then you just drop in Devine. Instead of you go Devine, Dobbin, Jebison as your 3. Does Watson get in over that? Someone in the chat earlier said that they don't think he would. I personally think he starts for 20 out of 24 team. Devine's fitness is still not there at centre mid. But this move won't happen till January. So Devine's got, 3 months to get fit. And then he's got to wait for a deal to get done. So there's plenty of time there where I don't particularly think he'll go. I don't think he'll go Preston personally. I think he'll end up at a team like Derby, a team like Hull. Maybe not Hull. But if you look at Derby, we need a Watson type player. That's exactly what we're missing, and it would give us then the opportunity to chuck a player like Bobby Clark in his natural position, a player like Ryan Brewster in his natural position. Gives us the opportunity to offload. Gives us the opportunity to offload someone like Caden Jackson as well. Look at our lone players at the moment. He will play and play plenty. Yeah, but ultimately you're doing well so far. Unless you pick up a huge amount of injuries, you don't really want to shake up the pack. I doubt we'll go for him. Fair enough. It's North End. You might drop off. He doesn't. Come winter, we'll have both Miller and Balumi back. Yeah, that is true. If Jackson goes and we bring in this lad, we're sorted. I agree, Keelan. I agree, bro. 100%. There's not many players that Derby County need, but I do believe that this position is 100% one of them. 100,000%. Because he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play as your 10, which I think is fairly decent. I think that's exactly what we need, if I am completely honest. Didn't he just sign for them? Yeah, it'd be a loan, Jack. It would be a loan. Because he's not getting the game time that he needs at Brighton to develop. I think has he played 2, maybe 3 games in the Cup for Brighton since signing in the summer. Scored a couple of goals as well, got a couple of assists, but ultimately he needs to be playing football. Especially if they want him to go on to be a Premier League player, he's got to play. I don't want him to be fair, says Daniel. Are you John in or out? I've never been Eustace out. I've never been Eustace out. But there's always conversations to have. Always conversations to have. And until you start putting in performances, winning games and stuff like that, there's always going to be that conversation about the future. 1 in 9 is worrying. I don't disagree, mate. I don't disagree. But hopefully, after the international break, we've got Blackett-Taylor back, Brewster will be back, Beck will be back, Langas will be back. I think we may look a little bit different. It's Matty off Twitter, by the way, bro. Is that you? Is that you? Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I think he's a waste. What? You think Watson's a waste, or you think he'd be a waste at Hull? I bet it'd be a waste. To be honest with you, I bet it'd be a waste anywhere but Derby. And that's just because he'd make us better. He'd definitely make us better. Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. I'd take it. I'd 100% take him. I don't know why anybody wouldn't, if that makes sense. Like, he's a very, very talented player. A very talented player. I think most teams in the division would take him. I think even if you look at like a Southampton, you look at a Leicester, you look at a Coventry, they'd want to get this deal done as well to bolster their squad. Appreciate the gift, bro. Appreciate the gift. He's not good enough. He's not got enough experience. He's had 1 or 2 good games. Just needs to prove himself. Fair enough. Apart from the fact he was huge for Sunderland last year. I'd have him. Yeah, I think many people would. I think anybody who wouldn't have him needs to open those eyes, personally. He is 19, yes. Better than Bobby Clark. Play different positions, Monty. Bobby Clark is more central. Should be more central. Watson is more of a proper wide player. So for me, I think bringing in a player like Watson gives you the opportunity to play Clark central. Fucking hell, Daniel's on one. How about the playoff final? Did he score the winning goal? I'm fairly sure he scored the winning goal at Wembley. That doesn't get better than that, does it, bro? Does not get better than that. Anybody doubting someone that can do that? Silly boy. Silly boy. You never doubt a man that scores the winner at Wembley. Never doubt a man that scores the winner at Wembley. Absolutely not. There was that one, the Carabao Cup. Any others? Go on, my son. Send in the side-by-side. Love that. Thanks for the gifts, bro. Did he not score the winner at Sunderland? He did score the winner at Sunderland. You're absolutely right, Hart, bro. You are absolutely right. You are spot to the on. He just is that guy. Tommy Watson is that guy. He will win teams games of football. He will, 100%. You've just got to give him the opportunity. Yeah, he scored that, fair play, but he's only had 2 good games from what I know. Yeah, but Dan, how much have you watched him? How many of his games have you watched? How many of his games have you watched? That's the real question here. You're talking about he thrived under pressure. Exactly. You put him in the biggest pressure situation, and he stepped up and won it. So, Prob's only watched 2. I've watched playoff final and the Carabao Cup game of Brighton Way. But say you've watched a couple of games then. Thoughts on Ange Ball? Perfect. He's got a lot of potential. He does. He does have a lot of potential. Let me just let me find. Where is Watson? Where is Watson? Give me a second. Tom Watson, 19 years of age. So he's played 3 blinders since the 24th of May. Can't really complain about that, can you? Can't really complain. Big game player, absolutely big game player. If we get him, is it a loan? Yes, it will be. It will be. I can't see it being a permanent, to be honest. I can't see Brighton letting him go that early. if I'm honest. Can I join? Unfortunately not, Jax. No. We don't do joins on here. We don't do joins on here. I just sit here and talk shit. Why are only the smaller clubs going for him if he's such a big player? Because he's 19. He's not long turned 19. He's still learning his craft. He needs to play games of football. In order to hit the top, you've got to play games of football, and you're not always going to get that game time at one of the top teams. That's why you have to look at the teams lower in the division. Was good, but I can't see him being consistent. Don't think the gamble is worth it, but I'm not arguing. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Wasn't he at Sunderland last season? Yes, he was. He scored the winner in the playoff final. Scored the winner in that playoff final, which was obviously huge for Sunderland. And obviously it's put them in the position they're in now, which is one of the reasons why he's now at Brighton. So, I'd rather Josh Madger. Fair enough, fair enough. Would be nice, but won't happen, don't think. We will have to wait and see. We know that Derby County have needed players in that position a lot. So we will see. Here's the biggest gamble of the season for whoever takes him. He could be inconsistent, but who knows? Well, you could say that about anybody though, Daniel. Any player you sign, everything is a gamble. No one is a guarantee. Not one player is a guarantee. Watson would be class. I agree, Harrison. I agree. But there's not one player in the world that you can sign and go, oh, he's guaranteed to be good. Look at the best example I can give you, right? Nick Blackman, right? Top of the goal scoring charts, having an unbelievable season. Derby signing for £3 million, can't hit a barn door. And that is sort of where my position stands on every player in the world. You don't know what's going to happen once they join your club. Like even when Messi went to PSG, he's never been the same player that he was when he was at Barca. When Neymar went from Barca to PSG, was never the same player. Blackburn were linked with him loads in the summer. Now look who's after him. I don't know what you're trying to suggest here, but Blackburn going after someone doesn't mean anything. 7 goals and assists in 4 seasons. My days. The guy's 19 years old. The guy has played what? Maybe 30 senior games. Let me just go and find out how many senior games has Tom Watson played. Give me 1 second. Tom Watson has played 26 senior games, Jack. Derby steal all of Blackburn's players. We don't. We've only actually signed 2 players directly from Blackburn, I think. The others weren't their players to start with. 3. Who's your 3? We signed Travis from Blackburn. Other than that, none of them have come direct from Blackburn. You're wrong. Tom Fellows was what? 19 bagging 9GA in 1 game. Yeah, but everybody develops at different rates and everybody gets different amounts of game time. Like let's do this. Tom Fellows. And there are also different types of players. Tom Watson. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 secs, chat. Give me 2 secs. Right, so if we get all season data, let's get all season data for Fellows and stuff like that, right? Vyman, Travis, Bath. Vyman and Bart were out of contract, so don't count. Travis is the only one that came direct. He's just left Sunderland. Yes, he did. It would be a loan spell. It would be a loan spell. Oh, sorry. No worries, Rory. He's getting passed around more than Bonnie Blue if he does go on loan. I don't quite think that's how it works, bro. Don't think that's how it works. So, at 19, that would be 3 seasons ago. So, 22-23 for Fellows. And then we'll do last season for Tom Watson, right? So, let's talk about Fellows. Fellows got 45 appearances, 3 assists, 2,748 minutes. And that's across, at 19, he was playing in League 2. Right? Tom Watson, at 19, made 20 appearances in the Championship with 2 goals, 890 minutes. 1 appearance in the playoffs, 1 goal, 17 minutes. Whereas Fellows was playing in League 2 and made 2 appearances for West Brom in the EFL Cup. Didn't play a single minute in the Championship. So that guy, who was the guy talking about? I think it was Jack talking about Fellows. Ultimately, Watson is the better player. He did it. When did Fellows get his 9 GA season? When he was turning 20. When he was turning 20, 5 goals, 4 assists. Watson and Fellows are overrated. Well, Fellows is like 3 years older, Alfie. So obviously, right now he's going to be better. But maybe in the long run, maybe he's not. Who knows? Who knows? And if we look at last season, Fellows at 21 got 18 contributions. 21-22, 18 contributions. And this year, he's on 1 in 10. Fellows is better and has been all his career. Well, is at the same age, right? At the same age, right? Fellows was playing League 2 football, whereas Watson was playing in the Championship. So quite clearly, somebody disagrees with you. Has Watson had an England call up? What, to the senior team? No, Fellows hasn't. But yes, Watson has played for the under-18s. Bart, Vyman, Travis, Sanderson, Beck, Diaz, all ex-Rove players signed by Derby, 5 of them last season. Bart and Vyman were out of contract. Travis signed directly from... Travis was the only one signed directly from Blackburn. Sanderson was on loan, Beck was on loan, and Diaz never played for Blackburn under Eustace. So silly thing. Not on about adults, I'm on about youth. Well, the only thing that matters is senior football. Doesn't matter what you do as what you do under 21s. Morgan Whittaker's prime for that. He was, pretty sure he was our record goal scorer at academy age groups. Whereas you put him in our first team and he shit the bed. So, wasn't Fellows parent club, was it though? No, Fellows was on loan at League 2 when he was 19. Whereas Watson was playing at 18, was playing for Sunderland's first team. Delusional Derby as always. What's delusional about saying 2 players were out of contract? That's a fact. Sanderson, Beck and Diaz. Sanderson and Beck were loans. Diaz never played under Eustace. Travis is the only one that came direct. I'd rather Fellows than Watson's any day. Yeah, but that's because Fellows is older, so you've seen more of him. That's all it is. Fellows has played more games. That's the only reason you'd take that. Honestly, that's the only reason you'd do it. If they were the same age, played the same amount of football. Watson has played 26 senior games, Jack. Let's do this then, right? He's played more because because he's older, you idiot. Because he's older. Let's look at senior football, right? West Brom, Southampton and Crawley. That's who Fellows has played for. 96, 9 and 19 at West Brom. Right? At Crawley, 40 appearances, 2 assists. At West Brom is 6-0-0. It's not got a single thing at Southampton yet. Whereas Watson has played 26 times, 4 goals, 3 assists. The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Tommy is such a good player. I completely agree. I'm not on about Southampton. I don't support them. Yeah, in the cup, no. He's played 24 senior appearances. No, Alfie, I'm not a stat merchant, right? But you can't talk about Fellows as if Fellows and Watson are the same player. I literally watched Fellows yesterday. I'm 100% sure Fellows played yesterday at Pride Park Stadium. 100% sure. And I can promise you, Fellows stinks. I'm joking. He doesn't stink. Fellows played 60 minutes yesterday. I don't... The only reason you think Fellows is better is because he's older. And Fellows is playing wing back now. What's that got to do with the price of sausages? Fellows was like furthest forward right, in my opinion, but who knows? But so Watson, 26 games, 4 goals, 3 assists. To be fair, I think he's better because I'm an Albion fan. Exactly. You've seen him more. That's what it is. It's nothing to do with whether Watson or Fellows are anywhere near each other. It's more to do with the fact of you've seen him more, so you prefer Fellows. Jack, I'm pretty sure, Jack, you've already admitted you've only watched like 4 games of Watson, so I don't really think you can be honest. Lewis is spitting facts, or you need to shut up, IMO. Go on, Monty, son. If Watson was his age, then it would be the other way around. That is my point. Great win for Ipswich. Yes, unbelievable win for Ipswich today. Unbelievable win. Hull have a signing ban, don't they? I just think they can't pay a loan fee, Will. I think that's it. I could be wrong, though. That wasn't me, so you might want to be careful what you say. Oh, sorry. Sorry. But, Jack, at the end of the day, if they were the same age, you'd want Watson. You'd want Watson. Typical Derby fan. I'm going to imagine you're a West Brom fan. So I'm just going to thank you for our first and only win so far of the season. I'm also going to thank you for when we beat you again in a few weeks or whenever it is. And then I'm going to thank you again for the 3 points in a few months. And then another victory at some point. Mate, Ollie McBurney, not going to lie, he prob's going to get golden boot. Probably. You're welcome. Hope you enjoy your only win. I'll love it. Quick question. How many Blackburn players get into the Derby team? Probably none. Hey up, Lewis. You alright, mate? I'm all good, Richard, bro. How are you? Lewis, what app is the beef on? It's on TikTok. But it has been... It's been a decent hour. It has. But, as I mentioned earlier... I wasn't going to be on long today. Just joined, being at Micklover, watching Derby Women. They lost 3-0. Ooh, unlucky. But, Richard, go through the stream. Hear all the latest news about Tom Watson. Let me know what you think. We are going to be hopping off now. What's the stream about? We've been talking about Tommy Watson, who is linked with a move for Derby County. And we've been talking about Derby in general, to be fair. Appreciate the follow, Jack. Appreciate the follow. As long as we get a winger, I hope so. Oi, who's beefing? Go on, General. Haven't heard about Preston wanting him. Well, we'll just have to see what happens. 6 or 7 Blackburn players and Derby 4 or 5 players. I've got no idea what you're on about, bro. Can't lie. But thank you, everybody, for stopping by. If you haven't done so already... hit like, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell. If you're on TikTok, hit follow. All this hype around Derby signing Watson, it doesn't mean we're going to sign him. I agree, Richard. I agree. Are you live tomorrow? Yes, I will be live tomorrow, normal time. But I just popped on, had a quick hour, just nipped on, had a quickie. But yeah, I will catch you all tomorrow for a proper chat. And we might get some FC26 going tomorrow. Can he play wing back? He can play either side, as well as further forward as well. But we will wait and see. But thank you, everybody, for stopping by. We'll end over on TikTok first. So I'll see you guys later on. Bye-bye on TikTok. And I will say thank you to everybody on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, hit like, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.